I remember it clearly. That night after Ramadan, Eid night, when the lanterns glowed and the air was full of perfume and soft music, people were greeting each other with smiles and plates of rice, stew, and fried meat. But it was Rahma who caught my eye, and it was what she did behind the mosque with Yusuf that nobody would ever forget. Rahma was the daughter of Alhaji Danlami, a well-known man in our community. She was quiet, always well-dressed in her long abayas and hijabs, never the one to shout or laugh loudly like the other girls. Everyone knew Rahma had a soft spot for Yusuf, the boy who used to fix radios and phones near the mosque gate. But during Ramadan, she stayed away from him. She hardly even looked in his direction. Yusuf, on the other hand, was no fool. He knew Rahma liked him, but because of her father's strict rules, he had never dared to say a word. He just smiled at her politely when they met after Jummah prayers, or when she came to buy airtime for her brother. During Ramadan, things were even stricter. No gazing, no chatting, no flirting. Everyone focused on prayers and self-control. Rahma wore extra long hijabs, kept her eyes down, and avoided Yusuf completely. But on Eid night, something changed. The whole neighborhood gathered at the big compound for the celebration. The moon was high and soft Hausa music floated from speakers. Women wore shining gold wrappers. Men wore crisp white kaftans. And the children ran around with sparklers in their hands. Sweet kunu and zobo drinks flowed. Plates were passed and laughter filled the air. Rahma came with her cousin, Maria. I remember turning to look when I heard gasps from some girls near me. Ah, see Rahma, is that not golden lace she's wearing? Yes, it was. A fitted lace gown, soft gold with silver embroidery. It hugged her gently, respectful but feminine. Her veil was pinned with shining clips, and henna decorated her hands in intricate patterns. She didn't look like the quiet, shy Rahma anymore. She looked like a woman who had made up her mind. Yusuf saw her too. He was helping the imam serve drinks near the mosque. When their eyes met for the first time that month, I saw him freeze. Then he smiled. Not a small one, but a deep, knowing smile. Rahma dropped her eyes quickly, but I could see her lips tremble. After prayers and greetings and food, when the older people began to talk politics and the children ran off with more sparklers, Rahma slipped away from the crowd. Maria was distracted, talking to a boy near the corner. Rahma walked slowly toward the back of the mosque, where the shadows fell quiet and the buzz of the party didn't reach. And Yusuf followed. I don't think anyone else saw them, but I did. I wasn't spying, not really. I had gone to the back to take a phone call, and when I turned around, there they were. Yusuf stood close to her, not touching, but close enough that I felt the heat rise in my own cheeks. I thought you were avoiding me, he said softly. It was Ramadan, Rahma replied. We were supposed to control ourselves. And now, she didn't answer with words. Instead, she lifted her eyes to his, and it was like something cracked between them. A wall, a rule, a boundary. He reached out, slowly, as if unsure. But when his fingers brushed hers, she didn't pull away. I've waited so long, Yusuf whispered. I know, she said. Me too. Then, still in silence, he pulled her gently into a hug. It wasn't dirty or wrong, but it was full of all the things they had been keeping inside. Her hands clutched his back and his nose buried in her veil. They stayed that way for a long moment, wrapped in the warmth of something forbidden but deeply felt. Then came the kiss, not rushed, not greedy, just soft lips, meeting softly, carefully, as if they were testing the world's reaction. And that's when everything changed. I left quickly, my heart pounding. I didn't want to see more. I didn't want to betray them. But I knew what I had seen, and I knew how dangerous it was. The next morning, people began to talk. Did you see how close Yusuf and Rahma were last night? She was not wearing her usual abaya. That lace was tight in. Someone said they saw her slip behind the mosque. It didn't take long before word reached Rahma's father. Alhaji Danlami was furious. He called her in, shouting loud enough for neighbors to hear. Rahma cried, they said, but didn't deny anything. She said it was true that she had kissed Yusuf. Yusuf was called to the house. He came respectfully, in his best kaftan. He didn't deny anything either. He told Alhaji that he loved Rahma, that he had always respected her, and that he wanted to marry her, but had kept his distance all this time out of respect. Alhaji Danlami shook with anger. You dare touch my daughter? You, a phone repairer, a common boy who doesn't even own a house? Yusuf bowed his head, but didn't back down. I will become more, he said. I will work harder. I will earn your respect. But my feelings are true. For days after that, the house was in chaos. Rahma's father threatened to send her away. Her mother cried and begged. Yusuf's mother came to plead for forgiveness, but nothing was resolved. Then something unexpected happened. Rahma stopped eating. She stayed in her room, refused to talk, refused to come out. The doctor said it was emotional shock. Her mother wept and finally went to her husband. Do you want to bury your daughter or give her hand in marriage? Alhaji Danlami, proud and rigid, finally agreed, with conditions. Yusuf must leave for Abuja. He must find a proper job and prove himself for 1 year. If after 1 year he still wanted Rahma and she still wanted him, he could return and marry her. When Yusuf heard this, he agreed. I will go, he said, and I will return. Rahma came out the next day. She smiled again. She walked to the mosque with her mother, and she even waved at the children playing in the street. The year passed slowly. Letters came, then phone calls, then the pictures. Yusuf got a job with a tech company. He started wearing suits and even sent gifts home. When he returned the following Eid, he went straight to Alhaji's house, knocked on the door, and asked again for Rahma's hand. This time, there was no shouting. There was only silence. Then a long sigh. Then a quiet yes. They married 2 months later, in that same compound where everything began. Rahma wore another golden lace, but this time it was with joy, not risk. Yusuf wore white, and his smile was even wider than before. And as they stood side by side, under the glowing lanterns and the smiling eyes of the community, I remembered that night behind the mosque. I remembered the moment when everything changed.